When you listen to the prayers of most Christians, their prayers is all about God blessing them financially. As if you ask me, I don't think God is going to answer that prayer, and I'm going to tell you why. You see, the truth is, God is not responsible for anyone being rich or being poor. Your God is not responsible for anyone being rich or being poor. If you want to be rich or if you want to be poor, is a choice. I'm going to use an analogy to explain something to you, to tell you why God is not going to make you rich. So, and that analogy is going to be the story of the creation, the Garden of Eden. So, you see, God created man. But before God created man, he created other things. He created the Garden of Eden. And in the Garden of Eden, there were plants, there were trees, there were animals, there were fishes. Yes, so God created everything before creating man. So let's assume that Adam, the first man God created, Adam was hungry. So if Adam wants to eat food, does Adam need to go to God, begging God for food? No, right? So what Adam needs to do is, Adam needs to stand up, go to any of the trees that God has created. Any of the trees that God has already created. Then he goes there, take a fruit and eat. If Adam wants meat, Adam don't need to go to God saying, God give me meat, God give me meat. No, Adam needs to go hunt an animal that God has already created. So the same thing applies here. Praying for God to make you rich, to bless you financially is not going to work because God has already set so many things in place. God has already created rules that once you follow them, you're going to become rich, that you're going to become worthy. So in the story of Adam, what Adam needs to get whatever he wants is action. Though you can pray to God, but pray to God only without doing any work. It won't amount to anything. The Bible says faith without work is dead. So God is not responsible for anyone becoming rich or praying to God to make you worthy. God is not going to answer that prayer because he has set rules in place. And this is why we see many unbelievers prospering. We see many unbelievers becoming worthy. That is because God has already set these things in place. That no matter who you are, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are an idol worshiper, once you follow these rules or those things, you're going to be worthy. Because if you look at these things, we have so many unbelievers who are worthy and they don't do any of the religious things most Christians or most religious people do. We see pastors talking about tithing, about giving. Most worthy people who are unbelievers, they don't do any of this, but they are worthy. And that is because being worthy or being poor has nothing to do with religion. Yeah, being worthy and being religious, they are two different things altogether. They are not connected. They are not related. Yeah, so God is not responsible for anyone being worthy. God is not going to answer that your prayer. If you want to be worthy, you need to put in work. You need to put in action. So you learn, read books, you work smart, you work hard, and you work consistently. And even if you look at this from one point, if God should bless you financially because you prayed to him, that will signify that God supports laziness. Yeah, because you pray to God, God somehow throws money down to you. It means God supports laziness, but the Bible is very clear that God does not support laziness. Even Jesus Christ said that my Father is always working. So even God is working, and since God is working, he does not expect us to be lazy. So if you want to be worthy, it's a matter of decision. Praying, yes, you can pray to God, but if you're not working, if you spend the whole day praying, you don't go to work, trust me, you're not going to be rich. You're not going to be worthy. Yeah, God is working and he expects us to also be working. So being rich or being poor is a decision, is a choice. So yeah, praying to God might help. It might not help. What will help is your action. Pray faith without work is dead. So that is for this video. If you enjoy videos like this, subscribe and you can watch this video over here.